Hi everyone, this is a new and quite quick tutorial on the new functionality that I've added to the Honeybee PV generator component. So before I show you the new functionality, the new functionality that I've added in Grasshopper, let me just go to the Energy Plus documentation and go down to PV. Oops. Photo, yeah. Photovoltaic. Okay, here we are. So with the photovoltaic generators in Honeybee, up till now, the photovoltaic generators only use the simple for performance model. And in NG Plus, there's actually 3 performance models. So the default is simple, but if you like, you can now use the EquivalentOne-Diode or the Sandia performance model. And I'm posting a link to this documentation below the video so you can go in and read about the difference between the models yourself. But how it works now in the component is if you update your PV generator component to the latest release of Honeybee, you'll see that there's a new input at the bottom, Sandia 1-diode mode. Now, if you leave that input completely empty, like you'll see down in this component here, then you'll be using the simple mode. But if you want to use the EquivalentOne-Diode or the Sandia mode, you need to have a panel and connect it to the input here. Now that panel has to be in the exact format that you see here for the EquivalentOne-Diode. It must have, for example, the first header must be photovoltaic performance EquivalentOne-Diode. If you want to use EquivalentOne-Diode, and it must be photovoltaic performance Sandia if you want to use photovoltaic Sandia. So it must be in that format. So to give you an example, if I go in and I want to change the number of cells in series in my performance mode from 18 to 20, if I do it like that, it will run fine. You can see NG Plus running along quite happily there. But if I go in and I, by accident or for whatever reason, I get rid of this little explanation and cross here, you'll see Energy Plus will become very grumpy and crash. So please follow the format that I've got here, which will be in the which will be in the Hydra file. And if you want to change any of the details, just go through and change these fields here. So every field that can be changed has a comma or a semicolon after it. If you've used Energy Plus before, it's pretty straightforward. But basically just all the numbers values you can change. You'll see examples, particularly of the Sandia mode, in the Energy Plus documentation. And likewise with the EquivalentOne-Diode, the same as what I just explained. You change the numbers, but don't change anything to the right of the columns or the semicolons. And one more really important thing is make sure that your panel is set to multi-line data, because if it's not, you'll get this error here. So your panel must be set to multi-line data. Also, don't try to use 2 performance models on any given input. Like for example, don't try to do this. This is the EquivalentOne-Diode model. Don't try to connect it there, because I think, oh no, actually Energy Plus works, but you could potentially confuse it. So don't just keep it to one model for each PV generator. Don't get it confused. So that's it. If you have any issues or questions, do email me, or better yet, post on the Honeybee and Ladybug forums. And I hope that this new functionality is useful to you. Thank you for watching.